One Zambia, one nation, and warm welcome to Zanis News. The headlines. Government concerned with the cholera situation. Cholera survivor thanks government for health care provision. 33 boreholes commissioned in Mukushi district. And Chief Chipepo advises farmers to plant early maturing crops. To present Zanis News in detail, my name is Trust Bemba. We begin with our bulletin with health news. Vice President Mtadena Lumango says government is doing everything possible to ensure that the water and sanitation system is improved to control the spread of cholera across the country. The Vice President said this in Lusaka when she toured the National Cholera Treatment and Control Center at Lusaka's Heroes National Stadium to appreciate the progress made in controlling the spread of the disease. Mrs. Nalumango was in the company of Minister of Health, Sylvia Masebo, Local Government and Rural Development Minister, Garin Kombo, and Sanitation and Water Development Minister, Mike Imposha.
The numbers here are over 1,000 as I entered here. Am I right? We have so many in admission, but the doctors, the health workers, who are also in short supply, I must say, but government is working hard to bring many more so that our patients can be attended to. The numbers of admissions are too high. But remember also that there are discharges every day. So we can stop the spread. Where we need is these who are here are under care, but can we stop the spread? This is why government, like I mentioned, is providing water and will continue to ensure that water is provided in areas where there is no water. We are putting up water tanks that we intend keeping in place so that our people can have access to clean water. We are also, where we provide water, we are covering shallow water wells so that people don't continuously get infected from this. We are doing all that we can, and I want to thank you, generally the community. There are many people who are volunteers that have come to help. We appreciate the community. We also appreciate cooperating partners for the support they are giving. Right now in this place, there is enough of what we need to attend to all the patients. It is because it's not only government. Government is doing the best under the leadership of His Excellency. But we also need those cooperating partners, those who are also supporting a facility like this one and other facilities. So that's overwhelming. It's important that the community response becomes stronger. I think that's where there is a weakness. The community still takes it, easy. When I went to the male ward, I saw many young men walking in. They are already infected. Then I'm wondering, this is the generation that should be able to educate the families, that should be able to educate communities. But they are the ones that are coming in numbers. And I think even in the brief, it has been established that it is more of the younger men that are being admitted. I am disappointed with the young men. What is happening? You have heard there is cholera. How can you continuously contract it? You have the capacity to avoid it. Unlike a child who doesn't understand, because a child will play anywhere. But the age group that I've seen in numbers is that which we expect to understand, which we expect that through your information, the information being disseminated by local government, through health, through Ministry of Information, should be educative enough for the people to change their attitude. Attitude goes right into our communities. It is very sad. Like I said before, and I've said it before, and I believe colleagues, the ministers, are saying the same. We have to take responsibility. Take responsibility. This dumping of garbage is not necessary at all. If each one of us didn't throw things in the wrong place, I think that the breeding grounds would be limited.
And Minister of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana has called on the media to carry out vigorous cholera sensitization messages. Mr. Kawana was speaking after a sports check at the National Heroes Stadium, which is one of the cholera treatment centers. Here is a report by Shilika Chabelengula.
With cholera cases on the rise, Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana has called on the media to intensify sensitizations against the disease to the public. The Permanent Secretary made this call after visiting Hero Stadium in Lusaka, which is a cholera treatment and control center.
Well, I think the media has to pull together with the rest of the efforts that are being put in place, and we need to sensitize the people. There's a lot of sensitization that is required. Remember that most of the deaths that are being recorded are deaths that are coming from the communities, meaning that the people are being brought in dead, and some that are even dying at the facility are those that are being brought in too late. But those that are coming on time are being treated and discharged. So what is important is for the media to play its role, to sensitize the communities so that we understand how this disease is working, how it is being transmitted, and how best we can prevent it. So sensitization is extremely important, and members of the media are encouraged to carry out as much sensitization as possible, to churn out as many messages as possible so that we continue to sensitize our communities.
Mr. Kawana also inspected the water infrastructure at Kanyama Market, where he interacted with the residents.
Then manda abantu abengi beka mu mashofu so nga banyabula obusali bula besa nkuitira mmoji na fishara zo manje fishara fili all over so no butogocho ndelomba kwa kino market yesu batukulira kwa toilet kanso twalibana yena bajiba kanso bali tulegesha then manje no market ikulu sana nakufuma kuno kwa kulojukula tama toilet
kolera naye chepako pano kairi muno market usali bwali fulisha sana.
He later visited Kanyama First Level Hospital to appreciate the situation.
Remember that of those that have been discharged, it tells you that we are able to defeat this, and our people in medical field are working extremely hard. But what is continuously disappointing is the attitude of our people. We need a paradigm shift, we need a mindset change. As we are driving around, we are able to see what is happening in Matero, what is happening in Kanyama. It's a sorry sight. Young people swimming in pools of dirty water, people being at rubbish dumps with children, even sharing food there. This is not good. You know, we are putting ourselves in harm's way. Your government can do only so much. Otherwise, cholera is a disease that is defeated as an individual. What is it that you're able to do as an individual? Then as a family, then as a community, then as government.
Shilika Chabalengula for Zanis in Lusaka.
Youths of Lusaka's Kanyama Township have joined hands with government in undertaking cleaning exercises to help combat the cholera pandemic. A check conducted by Zanis found youths cleaning the drainage system. Jens Malumba now reports.
Garbage is one of the contributors of the cholera pandemic. This is why government, working closely with different cooperating partners, has stepped up measures to ensure garbage is collected and disposed of to designated areas. In the work of the cholera pandemic, youths in Kanyama Township in Lusaka have joined the cleaning exercise.
Doing a cleanup due to the cholera pandemic which has hit us in Kanyama constituents, and we've taken it up ourselves as residents of Kanyama. That's the initiative we looked at to say, why can't we do it ourselves before we wait for government to come in, before we are struck with the pandemic? Can we really work together as a community? And it's quite overwhelming that the community, they have come on board voluntarily.
The youths have appealed to some residents who are in a habit of throwing garbage in the drainages during the night to desist from doing so.
So like this garbage I'm seeing here, I know others, they do dump these garbages at night. It is really wrong, and it's a punishable offense. Once you are found or you are caught doing this scourge, it's not really good. As a community member, we are encouraged to call out these things, to take away to the designated to a designated places where they're supposed to be taken.
Well, my appeal to the community is when you've got wastes, please let us not throw the waste in the drainage system. We have got a terrible situation here in Kanyama where people, they throw the waste. Then they do it at night. It's a secret, yes, we will do it at night, but when the disease comes, it has got no secret. It will attack all of us. So my appeal to the communities, let us not throw garbage in the drainage system.
Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
And health authorities in Nakonde district of Muchinga province have heightened preventive measures against cholera following a confirmed cholera case in the district. Nakonde Health Promotions Officer Getro Chipampe says a screening point has been set up at the checkpoint to inspect all travelers that are coming into the district from other towns. Ms. Chipampe adds that a cholera center will be set up at Nakonde District Hospital where all cholera cases will be handled from. She says the cholera case recorded involved a 27-year-old bus conductor of a named public bus who traveled to Nakonde from Lusaka on Thursday. Ms. Chipampe explains that the patient was taken to Nakonde Urban Clinic around 03 hours on Friday with complaints of excessive diarrhea, muscle cramps, and vomiting. She has indicated that contact tracing has since been conducted, and so far 14 contacts have been traced, while public bus has also been disinfected. Meanwhile, Nakonde Town Council Public Health Inspector Vincent Kalevaila says the local authority has also procured 75 kg of chlorine granular, which will be used to chlorinate water places and disinfect other public places. Mr. Kalevaila adds that the council has also embarked on the siege of food sold under unhygienic conditions and inspection of markets and bus stations to ensure the prevention guidelines are being followed. Still on health news, a 27-year-old cholera survivor of Mutendere East in Lusaka, Darius Kasenge, says he is grateful to government for the help being rendered to cholera patients who are on admission to various hospitals. Mr. Kasenge says he is thankful for the health care accorded to him during the time of his admission to Kalingalinga Clinic. Mona Mbonge has more in this report.
These are the people who had severe cases of cholera, but after medical interventions, they are fully recovered within a week. Health personnel are on hand to administer oral hydration and intravenous fluids for severely dehydrated patients. Cholera survivors from Kalingalinga Clinic explain their experience at the health facility.
But shukuru maningi shena chita appreciate pakalingalinga clinic abatandiza banipurusha pakali nangena pa Friday apasonde kushoka but nyonga siko moshe chacheke ilinadwala inayamba ma 04 ipe inayamba 04 6 hours ipe nileta kuno kuma pa Friday ipe nileta kuno but mweneze lili sinize so but ananitandiza paka lero nachoka lero so then kambako chi ililiyo ikolera
start expect kolera but kati problem ga digestion ngaziba tentiga konzeru clean up environment, make sure pa environment pa onika clean, ma toilet yati onika clean, chakudya funga kudya binsima bakuchagona chimbara AI.
And Kalingalinga Ward 36 Councillor Mukubesa Nyoni has urged residents to adhere to health personnel directive on cholera preventive measures.
What we are emphasizing, these are the basic hygiene. Wash hands. Don't throw garbage anywhere. Clean your surrounding because these are the normal requirement. And also the boiling of drinking water. This is the cheapest and the most affordable way. I know there's chlorine, but I know there are people who may say that we are vulnerable, but come on, boiling water is the cheapest. Also, family members, church leaders, let us not say, no, we'll pray for you, my home is too clean, I cannot suffer from cholera. This does not segregate. A fly can come from a well-to-do family or vice versa and attack you.
Meanwhile, In an effort to help government mitigate the cholera outbreak in the country, students from higher learning institutions have taken the initiative to donate assorted items to Kalingalinga Clinic and sensitize marketeers about the disease.
If the areas surrounding are loaded with cholera, it will be very hard for us to shield. For this reason, we have taken up this sensitization. The first place we have come at is Kalingalinga Clinic. We have come here to donate some few items that we could manage to donate. And from here onwards, we are going to go to Kalingalinga Market. We are going to sensitize. We are going to educate people on how to prevent cholera. We are going to educate people on some of the measures that need to be taken when somebody has clinical signs of cholera.
We work hand in hand with the Ministry of Health to ensure that at least our people are well informed of what is happening, what they should do, the hygiene protocols they should follow, and everything that must keep them safe. So as UMZASU, we are ready to work with the government, we are ready to work with the people in the private to ensure that the fight against cholera, we win it together.
With concerted efforts from most stakeholders, the cholera outbreak can be managed. Muna Chwende for Zanis in Lusaka.
We go for our first break. After the break, we have CDF News. Stay tuned.
Kanti kolera kibutuku manyim. Kolera kibutuku bwa kusululamu. Muti ya nani butuku bwa kolera utasulula ni kutazamu. Muti ya kula butuku bwa kolera usulula meza mfutasi na araisi aya kwa mutabanimu. Mukuliyo ukato kwa mezi mamubili bakengisa kufufulelwamu. Mukuliyo ukona kutimela mwahala lihola zeli shumi kazepeli haiba asafumanili kalafo zambuwamu. Mutu ukona kuyambula choni butuku wa koleramu. Kunwa mezi aska keniswa kapa kunwa mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho ni mazo atezi masila kapa kuitusali apiso zetapisizwe ni mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho zesika kwaelwa ni kuselezwa kwa linzinzimu. Kuchalicho zelobezi ilizeo alisikabukelezwa handemu. Kuchalicho zele kisiwa mama kululumu. Kuchalitolwana manicholo ni mulo zesika tapiswamu. Luko na chwani kuiselezwa kwa butuku wa koleramu. Kuvilisa mezi akunwa kapa kuvea mwateni chlorine. Mfutuma zeli choza mina pili musikali chakalemu. Mukwae li choza mina kaufela kulisileleza kwa linzinzimu. Musike mwa chalicho za mama kululumu. Mwitu seka limbalimba nako kaufela. Mi musike mwa itusa bikopo kapa mapepa amuyumba zema silamu. Mubone kuli mutabani wala telwa mwaka limbalimbamu. Mubone kuli kalimbalimba kamina kakenile nako kaufela manicholo ni kukwaelwamu. Lingosale litakumina kuzwa kubalikolo la maketemu.
Are you ready for Africa's biggest football showpiece? Starting January 13th, watch the 2023 Ivory Coast Africa Cup of Nations live on Topstar for only 180 kwacha antenna classic or dish smart monthly subscription. Watch live all the 52 matches from group stage to the final. Witness the tournament opener as the Elephants of Ivory Coast take on Guinea-Bissau on Saturday the 13th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Thereafter, on Monday the 15th, catch the defending champions Senegal as they entertain Gambia at 16 hours. Then later watch Cameroon square off Guinea at 19 hours, both on Sports Premium. Continue with the AFCON fever and chant Zambia Kuchalo when the mighty Chipolopolo boys clash with Congo DR on Wednesday the 17th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Remember to download the StarTimes own app now and enjoy AFCON on the go. Subscribe for only 180 kwacha now. Topstar, enjoy Africa's best football.
And on the Copperbelt province, residents of Chembo in Katote ward of Kafulafuta constituency in Masaiti district are happy with the construction of 1x3 additional classroom block at Chembo Primary School. The classroom block, which has been constructed at a cost of over 900,000 kwacha under the 2023 Constituency Development Fund, has been completed, is expected to be commissioned soon.
Chembo Primary School in Katonte Ward has an enrollment of over 600 pupils from early childhood education to grade 9. The school had only one classroom block and an improvised classroom structure, which made it difficult for the pupils to spend enough time in class. But with a decentralization of the constituency development funds to ward level, the community in Katonte chose the construction of a 1x3 additional classroom block to beef up on the already existing structures.
Twatemwa sana okutima okukulu kyawama abana balesandira omusana wansofu tapaleboneka ati nipa sukulu wawe nombero paboneka ati nipa sukulu kwe kutotera okukulu
kawaine kwena ni urongo wawino kwimakira kona bimbi sukulu bantu amasukulu amaklasi ari chepa tabare kona abana b'esukulu.
Members of the community are happy with the completion of the school but had an appeal to make.
Going forward, we would like to see an upgrade because this school goes up to grade 9. Now, those that go to grade 10 still have a big challenge because they have to go to very, very far off places where accommodation becomes a challenge also. Because the nearest school where they can go for secondary is Silangwa, which is more than 20 kilometers from here, meaning they can't walk, they have to move to go to boarding there. There are no boarding facilities, so they have to squat there. Then the other school is in Sofu, Central Province. Again, even that one is very far. Children can't go and come back the same day.
And Masaiti Town Council, Director of Engineering, is happy with the works.
I think so far today we are very much impressed with the progress that we have found. I think looking at the challenges that we had at the beginning of this project. I think at the beginning they conducted serious issues. I think we did a number of demolitions. But I think in the last 1 month, the contractors managed to move with a lot of speed. And the progress that we found today, I think this is not what we expected. So we are very much glad that the progress has really moved and also the quality is good.
Mkwachichanda, Zanis, Masaiti District.
Kabompo Constituency Development Fund CDF Committee Chairperson Grace Mukokili has cautioned CDF empowerment grants beneficiaries against sharing funds as they risk being prosecuted. Ms. Mukokili says cooperatives that apply for CDF grants should ensure they utilize the funds for the proposed project and not sharing the funds as discovered in some wards within the constituency. She said this during a CDF monitoring visit of CDF Empowerment Grant Project in Kawilo ward of Kabompo constituency. Here is a report.
This is Mulundu area in Kalulo ward of Kabompo constituency, situated 80 kilometers from the central business district of Kabompo town. Communities in this area have had difficulties in grinding their maize meal as the nearest hammer mill was located about 20 kilometers from the area. The story has changed with the advent of the increase in the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Mulundu Women's Club acquired a hammer mill through the CDF Empowerment Grant to change the narrative. Jafet Kaumba is a club trustee during a monitoring visit by officers from the local authority and CDF committee explained.
Kaangwe mwamo no ma distance kufuma mawewe na kuiza hano. Bantu wana kulitika mu mito. Mwana. Tulina chigayo hasaide hali wakwetwa. Onzo tunakutisa 10 kwacha. Hali ka 10 liter. Onzo bunoni ni echineza chinakukwasa lifuti. Chinakukwasa ino area. Na wakwetu wakweka na wakama wewe wamona kuiza. Njamono ngechemwa na kuhandika wenu ngwabo. Kubyuka chilina kuiza chindende chamuchano wenu netwa chimono wenu ngwe chikeko kubyuka weneti kana walifuti uno lina kuzowoloka wenu.
During the interaction, Kabompo Town Council Socio-Economic Planner Lungowe Kalumuna encouraged the club to continue working hard and expand the business further and to also be eligible for a CDF empowerment loan.
The place clean. You know the place is too small. Like we've seen the cobwebs there, try to remove them, you sweep the place and then try to expand it so that it's a little bit bigger. Can even put a bench for clients as they come, as it is rain season now, so that at least they are inside when it is big. So continue working hard.
Meanwhile, during another visit to Samuchi Cooperative of the same ward, the story was different as the hammer mill project ventured through the CDF grant appears to have failed to take off. District Planning Officer James Mwila expressed displeasure at the development after inspecting the project and further summoned the cooperative executive members to the local authority. The substandard hammer mill for the project, which only worked for a week before completely breaking down, is alleged to have been procured individually by the cooperative chairperson.
If the president came here, would he be happy with that? Banabakalunga, the desire of the Newton government is to uplift the living standards of the people. Please stop this, come out of this idea that, no, niva bombers or fear free to aradi afi. Mandouts, no. The president wants people to have ideas, the resources are there, so that you work for your own things, ownership.
Despite discovering a good number of youth and women cooperatives that benefited from the CDF empowerment grant so far performing well, discoveries of others failing did not augur well with the Kabompo CDF committee chairperson Grace Nkokili, who in a separate interview cautioned CDF grant beneficiaries against sharing of funds.
I would like to caution those who are sharing the resources, the funds. When you are given the funds, you are supposed to use it, yes, in a faithful manner. Because those who are sharing the funds will be prosecuted. I would like to encourage all the cooperatives, those who have been funding, to say we want to make sure that your living standards is uplifted. That's why we are giving these funds. Yes.
For Zanis News, Benson Whitaker, Kabompo District in Northwestern Province.
That's all we had on CDF News. More stories after this break. Stay tuned.
Kolera wapa msongo muka. Kolera wapa msongo wa kuichisa. Mutu alina msongo wa kolera echikuichisa nga chikuma na kusaza nawa. Bize vipi mwaichisa mutu na vipoya meya nge msoji wa loso. Mubeji echikuzia nga chikuma mujimba muomo ya kufumisa meya a mujimba. Mubeji nawa na hase kufa mujola li 12 hours ngeka wechi kumuhana vitumbo vya kumuka wa shiko. Unahase nga chili kuachi wa kumsongo wa kolera. Kuhichila mkuna meya kuwa na kuhaka vitumbo nawa aze ali na majilo. Kuulia vyakulia na mawoko aze ali na majilo chipwe kuzachisa malonga na jindeho ja kukosa na meya majilo akuhona kuhaka vitumbo. Kuulia vyakulia vyakuhona kufika vize wana wili kubajiji. Kuulia vyakulia vituta vize kabatumbikanga kana wako. Kuulia vyakulia vize wana kulandulula mumikwakwa. Na kulia na wamihako na makovu wako na kukosa kanawa. Tunahasenga chili kulikinga kumusongo wa kolera. Telekenu meya enu akunwa chipwe kuhaka mo vitumbo vya chlorine. Sanenu kumawoko enu na sopo chipwe na meya kuhaka vitumbo hanyima ya kuzaisa chimbusho. Zumisenu vyakulia vyenu shimbukanda mubilie. Fwikenu havyakulia vyenu vyosena kuchina kubiwila kubajiji. Kanda kulia vyakulia vyakulanda mumikwa kwa nduma. Zachisenu chimbusho lualo sena. Kahakanda kuzachisa ndundu, chipwe mapepa andundu hakuya na kulihehwa nduma. Mwatela kumona ngwenu, vipi yosena munawitapwila mchimbusho. Chimbusho cha nawa chatela kupwa cha unyoji, kahanawa cha kufika lualo sena. Mujimbu uno wanamnehela wakuli wakachanda chatala kulikangula cha meno ya watu cha Ministry of Health.
Are you ready for Africa's biggest football showpiece? Starting January 13th, watch the 2023 Ivory Coast Africa Cup of Nations live on Topstar for only 180 kwacha antenna classic or dish smart monthly subscription. Watch live all the 52 matches from group stage to the final. Witness the tournament opener as the Elephants of Ivory Coast take on Guinea-Bissau on Saturday the 13th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Thereafter, on Monday the 15th, catch the defending champions Senegal as they entertain Gambia at 16 hours. Then later watch Cameroon square off Guinea at 19 hours, both on Sports Premium. Continue with the AFCON fever and chant Zambia Kuchalo when the mighty Chipolopolo boys clash with Congo DR on Wednesday the 17th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Remember to download the StarTimes own app now and enjoy AFCON on the go. Subscribe for only 180 kwacha now. Topstar, enjoy Africa's best football.
Welcome back. Chief Tennis Nyankolenga of Zambezi District of Northwestern Province has pledged to work with officers from the blood bank to ensure that people in our chiefdom respond to the call of donation blood in order to save pregnant women who are dying after giving birth due to lack of blood. Speaking when Provincial Health Director Lakson Chidikita paid a courtesy call on her, Chieftainess Nyankulenga said she would do everything possible to remove the myths surrounding donation of blood so that people can freely donate without fear and anxiety. Chaibunkoma filed in this report.
Safe blood and blood products are very important to saving life, especially of a pregnant woman who may have lost excessive blood during labor. However, the donation of blood by members of the community hasn't been easy due to growing myths of Satanism that is said to thrive on blood. Provincial Health Director appeals to the traditional authority to help sensitize the people on the importance of donating blood.
In an attempt to reduce these maternal mortalities, the President has also put an emphasis on provision of safe blood and blood products. And this blood comes from our communities.
Dr. Chidikta explains why blood is needed by a pregnant woman after labor.
We expect our communities in your kingdom to be a people who wholeheartedly should be able to donate blood. Because during the delivery, our mothers lose a lot of blood. And there is no substitute to blood rather than the blood itself. That's why you have been able to see our colleagues from the blood bank going around trying to collect this blood. Therefore, I come to your kingdom, your Royal Highness, that we educate our people to remove the myth that surrounds. I know there is a lot of myth that surrounds when people come in to collect blood.
Chieftainess Nyakulenga has assured the health director of her support.
Yes, in the same way, we will make sure our people respond. You know, especially over blood, I don't think it's just our community or just the rural communities. These days, anything to do with blood, you know, it's bringing other things like Satanism and, you know, the things that are going around, you know, these days. So it may not be easy, but it's necessary. So we also make sure that we remove it, much as they may resist, just like any other community may resist. But as I said, as long as it is to the benefit of our people, and in fact, blood, not just the women, even other patients who go to the hospital who need blood, they must be given blood.
Reporting for Zanis News, I am Chebunkoma in Zambezi District, Northwestern Province.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church, SDA, has donated an assortment of items to the 49-year-old man of Umbala, Ruben Musukuma, who is currently admitted to the University Teaching Hospital. Njanji SDA Pastor George Mwansa says the church was compelled to render a helping hand after learning that Mr. Musukuma was being nursed by his 11-year-old son. We take a look at this story by Lakson Makosa.
These are the members of the Njanji Adventist Men Organization, AMO, who are on a mission to render a helping hand to the 49-year-old man of Mbala, Ruben Musukuma, who is admitted at the University Teaching Hospital, UTH. They were compelled to reach out after learning that Mr. Musukuma was being looked after at the hospital by his 11-year-old son. Among the provisions they have brought for Mr. Musukuma include a blanket, pair of bed sheets, toiletries, and a cell phone. Additionally, they have also paid for the family to feed from the cafeteria till the patient is discharged.
We are here gathered really to provide help to a young man and the father. A story appeared that has been circulating on social media, and in response to that particular story, the church organized itself and collected items that we felt we could present today as a way to help the family that is in need at the hospital today.
The AMO men are also working at ensuring that the 11-year-old boy goes back to school by meeting his school requirements.
I've further decided that this young boy is too young, he needs to go back to school. Once the father gets well, our plan is to have this child go back to school. As Adventist men, we have pledged that we'll support the boy to start his primary school all the way as the Lord allows us, so that this boy can have a better future. It's rare to find a boy of this age to take care of the sick father.
The gesture demonstrated by Amo has been well received by the family and the University Teaching Hospital.
We are so grateful that the church responded quickly to these people. It's not easy to help, but we can see that we still have good people in this world that were able to respond to them and provide the needs that they want. So as a ward, we are so much grateful for that.
Njanji Amo has since pledged to facilitate the transportation of Mr. Musukuma Tumbala once discharged from the hospital. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makodza.
Ministry of Green Economy and Environment Permanent Secretary Dautu Chibamba says the Lake Tanganyika Development Project has positively impacted the lives of community around the lake basin. Speaking when he paid a courtesy call on Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpondo, Dr. Chibamba said through the project, schools and health facilities have been constructed for communities on the lake basins. Dr. Chibamba revealed that over 5,200 pupils have been enrolled in school constructed under the project, while over 100,000 are able to access health services. Zanis reports that the Permanent Secretary stated that the recent piloted fish farming initiative through installation of 12 floating fish cages on Lake Tanganyika has demonstrated the potential of community-based fish farming, and Northern Province Permanent Secretary added that the project has changed the perception of people staying on the lake shore in terms of dependency on the lake. Mr. Mpundo explained that communities have realized that there are other alternative means of livelihood as opposed to previous beliefs that they can survive only through fishing.
One of the practical ways in which we can demonstrate impact on the ground, which the Republican President himself wants to see. If you look at this project like we have explained, PS, it has different components. Under education, for example, you have constructed so many schools from scratch. You have thousands of children that have been granted an opportunity to find space in a classroom through this same project. In terms of health, you've constructed a number of health posts, including a mini hospital. So again, you can imagine the impact on the ground. And
it has changed perception of our people in terms of dependent on the lake, that there are other alternative means to livelihood, as opposed to the old scenario where everyone knew that survival was just on the lake. With the coming of Lake Tanganyika project, has really helped our people along the shore to look at life differently.
Back to health news. The Civil Service Commission has pledged government's continued commitment to ensure quality service delivery in health institutions. Speaking in Mansa, Civil Service Commission Commissioner Wendy Mulenga says government will continue recruiting health workers to cushion shortages of health staff in health institutions. More in this report by Kennedy Chomba.
Civil Service Commission Commissioner Wendy Mulenga is in Mansa, Wapla Province. While in the province, the commissioner will check on the process of reporting for the new recruited health workers. The commissioner has since called on Wapla Province Deputy Permanent Secretary
to conduct spot checks on the 2023 health workers recruitment. This is also to establish how many people or candidates have received their appointment letters and how many have reported their respective stations. And in doing so, Deputy PS, you may be aware the deadline for the successful candidates to report their various stations is today, the 8th of January.
From the recent recruitment of the 3,000 health workers that we talked about, Wapla Province received its fair share of 285 health workers. This is a clear demonstration of this government resolution to create employment and improve service delivery in these sectors of our socio-economic development agenda.
She later met management at Mansa General Hospital before touring the health facility.
Mansa General itself has received a fair share of 49 staff recruited under Mansa General Hospital who have reported, all of them have reported, and 95% of these have been put on payroll already. HR need. The 5% remains issues that are people that had issue with ID already existing. They could have resigned in another sector within government and got employed under this. So it's an issue of changing and then putting in our payroll. That's why we have issues.
Kenneth Chomba reporting for Zanis News in Mansa District.
In Lusaka Province, Lufunsa District Commissioner Richard Mabenga has directed illegal miners operating at Pokela village in Chieftainess in Pasha's chiefdom to immediately vacate the area following cholera outbreak. The district commissioner said this when he visited the area. Here is the report.
Entrepreneurship is one of the driving forces of economic transformation in Zambia. Zambia National Service Commander Lieutenant General Salochi was speaking during the official opening of Hamtrade Limited's third shop in Lusaka's Central Business District.
You start from a small hill and you become a mountain. How do you become a mountain? By starting small and being consistent. What we lack is a spirit of work. If we, as a people of Zambia, can work very hard, the economies that grow are grown by our own selves. Hence you hear the President, Commander-in-Chief always insisting in his message, because you cannot have a people changing their mindset and you, a leader, you lead a different life. If each and every one of us can do touch here and there, I can rest assure you, Zambia in the next 3 years will be a different country altogether.
Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu, who witnessed the official opening of Hamtrade Limited's third shop in Lusaka's Central Business District, has encouraged the community to work hard.
In Lusaka District, let us encourage young ones. Instead of becoming junkies, it's better you start small, and this government, under the able leadership of Mr. Halende Girema, all of us, I'm sure we are happy. Because he is encouraging us to work. Let us do genuine business in this.
Hamtrade Limited Executive Chairman Harry Mwananyao says teamwork leads to the success of every business and economy.
You cannot manage with a stubborn wife. You need a wife who will always be with you. When you have a problem, she's with you. The president of the nation cannot manage to run the country unless he has a good team.
Nijelo Mweba reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
We take our final break. More stories when we return. Stay tuned.
Kolela ichumanyi kolela hi musongo wa kuhitisha muntu una kwachikika musongo wa kolela ukukata musongo wa kuhitisha na kusanza muntu yeniwo wahitisha nga menji adine imenji alosu muyeji ukuma menji mu mujimba windi mulonga wa kushweza kuhitisha menji amavulu muyeji na twechu kufwa muji ora 10 na jiyadi ne ikutambula kukewa kwa kubula kulumbuluka. Injilanyi mwakutambwila musongo wakapota munene ikolela. Kuna menji akubula kushewa ichumbu hela menji amajilu. Kuda yakukwata na makasa amajilu hela kukosa yenga na menji amajilu. Kuda yakubula kubutewa hana kuwila anjinji. Kuda infuta yichuta inabuli kuhembewa chubwahi. Kuda inakulandishewa kunsanyi kwa. Injilanyi ya ukangechela musongo wakapota muneni kolela. Bwakati shenu menji enu akunwa hela shenu mu yichumbu ya chlorine. Wele enu kumakasa enu na mulola na kuwela nawo kumakasa hanyuma ya kuzacha chimbushu. Tatishenu yakuda heno kanda muyide. Bai kuda yakuda inakulanchewa kunsanyi kwa. Zatishenu chimbushu mpindi yejima. Bai kuzacha nyingomu hela ipepa la yanjunju muna mwakunatila malabishi. Mwanene nenu antu anakudukwashila kuyimbushu. Hembeni chimbushu cha unyonji nawa china kubutewa. Insangu yino anaileteliyu kudi akamtayi waipatela.
Are you ready for Africa's biggest football showpiece? Starting January 13th, watch the 2023 Ivory Coast Africa Cup of Nations live on Topstar for only 180 kwacha Antenna Classic or Dish Smart monthly subscription. Watch live all the 52 matches from group stage to the final. Witness the tournament opener as the Elephants of Ivory Coast take on Guinea-Bissau on Saturday the 13th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Thereafter, on Monday the 15th, catch the defending champions Senegal as they entertain Gambia at 16 hours. Then later watch Cameroon square off Guinea at 19 hours, both on Sports Premium. Continue with the AFCON fever and chant Zambia Kuchalo when the mighty Chipolopolo boys clash with Congo DR on Wednesday the 17th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Remember to download the StarTimes own app now and enjoy AFCON on the go. Subscribe for only 180 kwacha now. Topstar, enjoy Africa's best football.
Zanis News continues. In agriculture news, Chief Chipepo of the Tonga people of Chilundu district in Southern Province has advised small-scale farmers, especially those located in Valley, to plant early maturing varieties. Chief Chipepo says there is need for small-scale farmers in the region to seriously consider planting early maturing varieties owing to the rainfall patterns in the valley, which experiences perennial droughts. Zanis reports that the traditional leader further employed small-scale farmers to take advantage of the planting window and plant drought-resistant crops. He pointed out that by planting early maturing varieties that are drought-resistant, crops like sorghum, finger millet, and groundnuts, farmers are assured of a good harvest despite the partial drought that the district experienced.
No, you see, we do not control the heaven. And God has got his own way of, you may say that rains have delayed, but I think the coming of rains at this level, if you can be encouraged to plant the early mature, I think that everything will be okay. And don't dwell on maize. Do other crops like sorghum, finger millet, and the groundnuts also. Do that so that you balance up. This is what I've seen in Zimbabwe. Some farmers there, they balance up okay. They don't necessarily have to do the maize alone. And throughout Zambia, I think things are going well. Just for the pattern, the way it is, the rain pattern. I think somehow, people will be able to harvest. Yes, they will be able to harvest. And it's very, very important that we do these things in a manner that we are able to harvest whatever we can harvest.
Ndola High Court judge in charge, Winnie Mwenda, says there is need to expand the infrastructure, which she says has never seen a facelift since its construction in 1959. Zanis reports that Dr. Mwenda said this during the ceremonial opening of High Court session for 2024 at the Ndola High Court. Here is a report.
Ndola High Court sessions has been officially opened, and the court statistics indicate that the murder cases handled in 2023 were the highest among the criminal offenses that the court dealt with. Ndola High Court judge in charge, Winnie Mwenda, began the ceremonial session with inspecting the guard of honor mounted for her by the Zambia Police Service and the Zambia Prison Service. Dr. Mwenda also highlighted the challenges that the judiciary is facing.
One of the challenges and major outcry over the years has been the lack of proper and adequate court infrastructure in the province. The High Court building, for example, has never been expanded on since it was opened, yet the population in the region has gone up, leading to an increase in the number of cases filed. The number of staff at the High Court and subordinate courts has also gone up. There is therefore an urgent need for the creation of more office space for the support staff. This situation is exacerbated by the superior courts, that is the Supreme Court, Constitutional Court, and the Court of Appeal circuits. During the court circuits, the courtrooms at the High Court, the chambers of the honorable judges, and a good number of offices for the support staff are surrendered to the superior courts.
Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo, who graced the event, noted the challenges affecting the judiciary in Ndola.
My government is aware of the challenges the judiciary and other institutions involved in the justice delivery system are facing. The major one being lack of proper and adequate court infrastructure, which has been judiciary's major outcry over the years. Even last year, this issue was brought. And I also want to report, my lady, that I visited some districts in the province where I have seen in my own eyes the state of the courts. Yeah, and I think in Lufanyama, where also the route of the court has been gone. I think we did engage the district commissioner and the member of parliament so that they can emulate what their friend is doing in Chifu.
Ndola senior lawyer also called for better infrastructure for the justice to be delivered efficiently.
The question of infrastructure has gotten to a stage which is so alarming and pathetic. In particular, I'm addressing myself to the condition at the subordinate courts. The judge in charge made it clear in her speech, you have 11 magistrates. You have 5 courtrooms. Now, out of those 5, isolate the GBV court because it's a specialized court, so it's hardly used. Now, these 11 magistrates, they use 5 courts. Now, the practice I've seen is they give each other 2 hours, okay? So one magistrate will start at 9 hours, possibly give way to the other at 11 hours.
The official opening of the High Court session marks the beginning of handling all the matters that are before the court for the people to receive a better service. Tovini Ngombe, Zanis, Ndola.
Well, that item brings us to the end of our news, but before we go, we take a look at the headlines again. Government concerned with the cholera situation. Cholera survivor thanks government for health care provision. 33 boreholes commissioned in Mukoshi district. And Chief Chipepo advises farmers to plant early maturing crops. Thank you so much for watching. That's all we had for you from our news desk. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, I've been your presenter, Trust Pemba. For now, it's goodbye.